superstars.
Yeah, but as it is, we now get into game number 2 between Invictus Gaming and IMAY. This time, IG with side selection have opted to take blue. Raz, thank you so much for your analysis. He'll be joining us after to break down this set, as we've already got our first set of bans. IG immediately taking away Athena's Galio from game number 1, and then even going so far away as to ban Fiora on their own side.
Yeah, interestingly enough, of course, Amazing J, still a very good Fiora/Camille style of player. You'd also maybe look at him and say something like the Jarvan would be fantastic. But so far, I am much happier with the bans that we are seeing just because the Galio is gone. But now we play the Zac game. Will it ban?
Will it stick? Probably yes. And actually, IG are going to be the ones who call the bluff, who end up losing this bout of chicken as they ban Zac first.
Usually indicates that Ning doesn't want to play it, which is the most curious thing. Of course, in game number 1, IG banned it third after the Lee Sin and the Elise. So again, I guess a game of chicken trying to test if IMAY will get rid of it first.
Yeah.
They didn't, and then they were forced into this Galio situation. So now we put ourselves in a position where I think we just get rid of Karma if we're IMAY again, because the bans have been done for you.
That's what they did in game number 1, and that's what they're going to do here in game number 2. So now on blue side, the priority shifts for Invictus Gaming.
That's better.
As now that's Lee Sin swooped up for Ning.
That was the one thing we said we'd want to change between games 1 and 2 now. Lee Sin going to be picked in by Ning. Best champion according to Raz. He's watched a lot of Ning plays, hyping him up. Lee Sin seems to be the option, champion of choice.
And now we're looking for Braum pickup from Starlight in that bottom lane. Once again, he took that in game number 1 to great success, and they're just actually going to stick to the exact same bottom lane as Caitlyn is swooped up for Jin Zhao.
They're still in Italy available. They've still got pretty much the entire team composition that they want there for them besides the Galio.
Yeah.
And knowing Athena, he has a very deep champion pool. Vladimir is still actually one of those strong champs. But IG have responded, and they've done it quickly.
Yeah, that's a bottom lane focus from IG, along with a jungle focus for Ning. So that leaves counterpick for Rookie and Duke as time goes on. But IMAY, they still get their pick of the litter with what's left.
Aggressive choice if they go for the Camille here, because once again it will lock down the AD carrier, lock down Rookie. Usually seems to be the primary focus of it. But you're against a Lulu, Kog'Maw, and a Lee Sin. Lee Sin's known as one of the few champions that can kick Camille out of the ultimate. And it's really hard to kill Kog'Maw when Lulu exists.
Oh yeah.
He needs something with him right now.
We'll have to see what that's going to be as IMAY. Might they pick up some more dive to go with Amazing J this time around, or try to take it a bit more standard as Renekton is now banned away from Duke. Get him away from something that he can carry on. Get him away from something that he can pressure Amazing J on.
Yeah. I guess it's one of the traditional counters, what we saw from Camille. Amazing J was one of the few people to pull out Darius as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, Renekton seems to be the champion of choice. So it's a good ban from them, and it seems like they want to be focusing Duke a little bit. Maybe a Rookie ban. Throw it in there, that'd be handy.
Just the one, just for funsies. But I mean, which one do you take away at this point? Ban away his Orianna?
Yeah.
Looks like a LeBlanc target instead. He's still got that Talia too, so...
LeBlanc's one of those few champions that works super well into the Kog'Maw composition. With Karma gone, they're not going to empower him, of course, too hard, and they'll play the assassins, so... By banning the LeBlanc, I guess they open themselves up to picking away the other one.
That saves the final pick for the jungle of Flawless. And now Invictus Gaming with that Kassadin ban out towards Athena, they get to round things out for themselves. Are we going to get to see the likes of an assassin picked up?
I hope so.
And nope, swapped over. They did manage to get Duke onto a tank. Tragically, it's one with a shield who can protect a big Kog'Maw. So this is actually going to be a bit different out of IG, because it seems like they're putting a lot of their eggs into West instead of Rookie and Duke.
Yeah, and they still put the LeBlanc equivalent into the mid lane, having the Ahri there. I'm going to call it the Assassin Mage, potentially coming out in the middle lane. So lots of kill threat onto the carries of IMAY, but also a bit of extra peel and a second damage source now from them. So Invictus Gaming have put themselves together a pretty well-rounded standard team composition. There's also just this ongoing tendency that Kog'Maws just win in the LPL. No matter how you paint that picture, the Kog'Maw will find a way to win.
He is a very strong champion right now. Has been for quite some time. Final pickup for IMAY is going to be Ivern, locked in for Flawless. We've actually not seen him play this champion competitively before.
And he's going to be playing it with a Caitlyn. So there's actually a very good team composition coming out of IMAY in response to the Kog'Maw comp. It's a battle of the hyper carries. One of them does it just a little bit better when you put it into perspective. Of course, the Kog'Maw perhaps outscales the Caitlyn. Has an arguably better mid-game as well, where Caitlyn wants to get the big completed items. Kog'Maw can have one and be pretty happy with his ability to carry. But both teams just setting up their ADs.
Yeah, and something IMAY might be a little bit more comfortable with than Invictus Gaming. I mean, we talk about the superstar presence of Rookie and Duke all the time, and how the team so often sees success when it plays to them. Well, now they've only got a chance to play to one of them, Rookie on that Ahri, because they are putting so much investment into West. And again, maybe it doesn't work out for them in this game, but it could be indicative of their team growth as a whole if they continue to adapt and play around the whole roster.
It is possible, but of course they're going to be playing a Protect the Kog'Maw comp against one of the teams that excels at that type of style. IMAY have already proven their abilities to do that, their capabilities of focusing their bottom lane. But in the same vein, they also have carried through Athena, they've carried through Amazing J. They've just shown that Flawless can have a big performance. There is a lot here that is ultimately just a little bit disheartening for IG to have to contend with and to pick this into.
Speaking of disheartening, Rookie giving a big ol' yawn before he gets into this one as he takes a nice deep breath to prepare for game number 2. Perhaps this can be a turnaround of their performance against WE just 2 days ago, as Invictus Gaming, one of the oldest organizations in Chinese League of Legends, finds themselves at a 0-1 deficit. Not only in this series, but in the entire LPL as a whole. Eventually, they'll have to start picking up wins, but if they can't start finding it in groups, they might end up near the bottom as we get closer and closer towards Worlds and beyond.
Of course, on the cusp of having a no victory week 1 here in Invictus Gaming. The sooner you start getting those wins, the better.
Yeah.
And IMAY, in their first and only best of 3 for week 1, have started it with a victory, at least in the first game. So IG want to send us to game 3. IMAY want to close it out immediately.
And now taking a look at the start from these two teams as we load onto the Rift. We've got Wards in Tribush as IMAY grouped up as 4 just to be safe. Amazing J is taking a nice defensive start behind Red Buff.
So, speculate a little bit. They've got 2 Stoneborn packs on Flawless and on Starlight. This to me is curious. And they've also got the Warlord's Bloodlust on Jin Zhao. So my expectations here is the BF Sword, Static Shiv, maybe completed Infinity Edge build with no lifesteal.
So are they running the Goonies Never Die comp?
Well, I mean, they're putting Keystone Masteries in that mean Jin Zhao does not have to have lifesteal, is how I see this. It's indirectly protecting their Caitlyn. Just means they have to hit their spells.
Yes. Well, so far, Jin Zhao, he seems to be on point. You can see him smiling on the bottom of your screen right now.
100% hit rate.
So far. As Ning starts off with Raptors, Flawless going for standard clear, actually going for a smite on Raptors, and with a ward in the river to keep an eye on any potential invades, and that smite on cooldown, that should mean that Ning is safe, at least for a few minutes.
As long as he doesn't do the EULCS Ivan jungle pathing, I think we'll be okay here.
Oh, is that the run in without smite and then drop your shrine?
Just run in, die, and then run in and die again.
Okay.
He actually did twice in a row.
A solo queue Ivern jungle pathing.
Well, everyone does it once.
Okay.
Then you learn your lesson, you go back. But to do it twice...
A little bit silly. Alrighty, he's actually not going to have enough mana to get Friends of the Forest on Gromp. So just drops it onto 2 as Rookie very uncharacteristically totally whiffs that charm. And Athena gets some temporary push pressure onto him. Perhaps a sign of some difficulty from IG?
Nah, not at all.
Alright, he instantly landed that one.
Just the battle of the Koreans in the mid lane. Rookie misses sometimes.
But it is so uncommon.
The god he may be.
You do have to celebrate those misses when they do happen.
I mean, he's jokingly referred to as the scripter.
Yeah.
Just because he's that good at dodging spells himself. So maybe the shoe can be on the other foot here and there, Dom.
And Athena even going so far as to take Cleanse in this matchup against Rookie as he doesn't want to be caught out. There goes Flawless. He's got a smite right on time for a mostly full clear. The only thing he's missing is Krugs on the other side of the map, but now he's got a brief window to start moving around. He's paired up with Starlight to move into the river, and Megan backs up just in time for a ward in Tribush.
Actually a well-timed ward in that Tribush. Of course, when Krugs is the only camp left alive, you expect that is where the Ivern and Lee Sin are going to go. but 90% of the time it's in the opposition jungle because they want to get vision down, they want to secure a side of the map, and often you'll find that the blue side jungle is where they always defer to next, as you can see.
Yeah, Flawless is looking for an adventure mid, doesn't quite find it as Rookie easily backs away from this. Ning, meanwhile, wastes no time in looking for the Krug, so temporary advantage to Ning as he clears out the Krugs of Flawless.
Of course, the big difference between the Ivan and the Lee Sin in that respect is that Flawless is waiting for his smite, and he's also waiting for the Scuttle Crab to be available for him. So he'll take that, probably go over to the Krugs or the Raptors, depending on which spawns first, take the second camp, and then he's caught up anyway.
Rookie, though, very safely drops a ward on that Raptors as Ning completes his recall. But Flawless has his smite. That's a little embarrassing. Just wasting a little bit of mana. Luckily, still got blue buff as Duke still showing who's the king of top lane. It's this guy.
Duke's the boss.
At least during the laning phase.
They're on.
Wow, the root collar actually lands onto Megan. And Starlight gets a much worse trade for it as he takes a turret shot in West, hammering onto him.
Turns out that Invictus Gaming won that trade by Ivan hitting a Q, and Ivan's on the other team. You're not meant to go under the turret when you follow it, unfortunately. Wasn't really a big part of the plan. They force a teleport top lane. Duke probably will want to get one out himself. He's a level 6 Reliant champion, and that level 6 will get him around the map anyway. So he may just teleport once he has enough for perhaps a Tiamat. This time around for Duke, a bit of extra lane control. Everything kind of slows down.
And we return to our regularly scheduled program. Nice calm laning phase as West clears out that trap. And the bottom lane of Jinzhao, actually. Jinzhao and Starlight feeling pretty happy about where things are right now. 7 CS advantage. We're seeing Starlight regenerate after that fumbled trade, despite being at a slight potion disadvantage. And Flawless, he's got that Friends of the Forest. Just about to finish.
And of course, for those wondering, the name of the game, top lane, is to try and bully out the Camille before you recall this gen. Just a way to make your recall more efficient and try and force Amazing J to go back with you because he doesn't have the teleport. So that's what Duke's doing right now. It's risky, which is why Ning's also in the top side jungle, maybe looking to support his top laner throughout this. But again, they get the recall off. Lee Sin looks but doesn't commit to anything because Flawless was there to protect it. And same thing applies mid. Flawless, just going to be a pain in the butt.
Yep. Runs around, drops some emotes, and keeps Rookie busy preventing that recall. Buys a bit more time for Athena to complete his own. It's Lost Chapter for both of our mid laners, along with Boots and a control ward, as they are just about close to even in CS. Athena's going to open up a slight advantage from the presence that he's had in lane and the assistance from Flawless. But Ning might show himself top. He's only level 5. And now that Shadow Dash has been used onto Amazing J, you got to wonder, is he going for Krugs or could they look to dive here?
I think the dive would be very risky. They've actually got Athena coming up with Flawless. Just looking at the area, now that he's missed his Q, they're pretty much aware of it. However, there is a massive experience advantage for this Lee Sin. It's the CS advantage to the point where I don't think Ivan even wants to be a part of the game for 2 more levels until he has Daisy. This affects top lane actually very poorly, as it forces Amazing J to go back to base. He's not safe. No one's safe until Ivan catches up.
And that's that teleport you were talking about. Duke used it just a few minutes ago and did pick up that Tiamat.
100%
They're
going
looking
mid.
for Athena. Flash over the wall. Charm right into it. Athena goes down, and it is first blood for Megan.
And Megan takes the first blood. Not exactly the right idea here from Invictus Gaming, but the dive was perfect. They get the Lee Sin coming in, flash kicks, no reaction available from Athena. He doesn't use a summoner spell. He knows there's no point. He's just super dead.
A lot invested into that out of Invictus Gaming, but they did pick up first blood, splitting that assist across the mid laner and that support. Ning's going to use that time in the meanwhile to head on over to Dragon, and with bottom lane pushed in and no presence from Athena, there's little that IMAY can do to answer.
Of course, Mountain Dragon, one of the least impactful when it hits you in the face with its dragon's breath that is conveniently the color of mountains. It actually chucks dirt at you, I think.
Yeah, it spits stones, I suppose.
So it's super easy to take. Rift Herald also for Lee Sin, one of the easiest buffs to take because of the shield cooldown always being available. As Rookie, he's made his way up top.
Yeah, so too has Flawless. Drops Daisy. Duke is up there as well, but it's the 2 Koreans against Flawless and Amazing J. They're locking Duke down, and they're doing a lot of damage, but he flash autos to get
Duke's
the kill
alive.
as Daisy chases Duke around, and this is not going to end in a car scene as he gets bopped down. The cops have shown up in time.
Actually just hammers him into the ground. Daisy gives him one. They managed to equal out the trade, all things considered, but Duke gets a kill. Whereas Flawless is the recipient on the side of IMAY, and I would much prefer my Shen to have those kills.
Oh, yeah.
And even in this case, the Camille, if I was IMAY. So still not ideal. However, at the same time, Athena gets to catch up a little bit in this middle lane. Still farming very well, but he's behind in experience.
Now this is blue buff picked up for Flawless as IMAY now find themselves down about 400 gold. They're still doing well in lane, keeping even all across the board. Slight advantage for Jin Zhao, but like you said, Ning, he's just a little bit ahead of Flawless, and we're starting to see that Korean synergy between Duke and Rookie on that top side of the map. How do IMAY break this up? How do they stall this out?
Well, they just keep farming. Of course, there's a convenient catch-up mechanic in League of Legends that Flawless has been experiencing, which has got him back up to the same level as everybody else. It's all about the counter ganks. But IG, they've found a target, and they're not going to stop.
Oh, they're even bringing Duke up here as well. Kick out of the hook shot, pinned against the wall from a charm. Another kill for Invictus Gaming onto Amazing J.
And hey, conveniently for IMAY, Amazing J still has his teleport.
Yeah.
That is going to be nice. Flawless is trying his absolute hardest to make trades, but Athena can't leave mid lane. He is having a really rough time trying to control Rookie. And when Rookie's unleashed, Duke is also conveniently being unleashed at the same time, compliments of the champions.
Yeah, Flawless and Athena head towards that top side of the map as Jin Zhao and Starlight complete their recall and head bottom. They're just going to clear out the wards and prevent any further push from Invictus Gaming. You want to stop them from breaking down that first tier 2 and opening the game up even more.
That's super nice, actually, from IMAY to get back-to-back blue buffs for Flawless and Athena. It's very handy in the way of just having extra lane control. And the one thing that's missing from IMAY is that mid lane control. Of course, at the same time, Lulu has been roaming around the map more than once. I've seen it a couple of times disappearing. The bottom lane's not doing all that well from IMAY in the lane control aspect as well, but everyone's still farming fine. Everyone's still getting all of their CS, and it's only 3-1 in kills, but the gold is starting to grow. It's starting to mount up more and more, and Invictus Gaming, they've got a pretty big eye in.
Oh yeah. As Ning now continues to hang out on the top side of the map. He's been spotted out by a ward over the wall, but guess who's there too? It's Rookie. He's got his Spirit Rush. He's got Flash. Flawless shows up with a nice safe control ward just in case, as they're going to tag Ning very early on. He's pinned down, trying to keep himself alive, but IMAY close the bear trap before IG can respond.
Athena even walks over and just throws down the Shockwave to try and steal the kill from them, so the Shockwave's off cooldown. But that's what you do. You get the wards out. They're predictably going top right now, honestly, Invictus Gaming. How many times are you going to go up before there's a counter gank? Well, the answer was 3.
Yeah.
They get up there. The wards are in place. Flawless smartly adapting to what was going on.
And with that momentum, we do see Jin Zhao starting to trade back as he's got a little bit more of an item advantage over West. That BF sword definitely a little stronger than the Vamp Scepter longsword out of West.
Yeah, the difference here is that you're expecting West to try and hit minions constantly to try and keep his lifesteal up, whereas you look at Jin Zhao and he's trying to hit West to prevent him from lifesteal.
Yeah.
It's a battle of who can do what. And imagine with the W timing from West, he'll be hitting them all the time.
Greater range on that Caitlyn makes things just a little bit easier as well. And now that that counter gank is done, I feel like it's a case of fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Oh God, please stop fooling me.
That's legit. Yep.
Because IMAY finally responded.
Fool me 4 times. I'm a fool.
Oh yeah, at that point. It's no longer you getting fooled, it's just being a fool.
I feel like that's the 3rd time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So where do we draw the line at, oh God, please stop fooling me?
Well, they didn't get fooled the 3rd time, right? So they're not a fool, and they're still well and truly in a position in this game where they can fight.
Yeah.
And they're scaling at pretty much the same speed as Invictus Gaming. So we are working towards that point again where the 1 items will be completed. Morello's for both mid laners. Top lane's a little bit of a different ballpark. You've got Duke with the Tiamat, but he usually goes tanky. After perhaps the Titanic Hydra, it's personal preference with when he buys that one. At the same time, you've got damage threats from Amazing J. Really bad items right now. Just the Mana Crystal, just brown leather bags for boots. But once he completes his Trinity Force, then he might start teleporting. He might start opening up his positioning on the map.
For now, though, he's just focusing on getting gold, keeping his lane busy. Athena respecting the potential gank from Ning as the vision from IMAY has slowly but surely fallen back a little bit. on that top side of the map. They've got all of the entrances warded up with the exception of Try, and now we can see Flawless and Starlight starting to clear out some wards on that bottom side to make sure they're safe for the inevitable Mountain Dragon spawn.
Constantly trading in this top lane as well as Duke, and the problem here is Amazing J just has no idea where everybody is. Flawless, he's walking up to check the red buff, which I believe he just missed his Q on. So that's awkward because Ning's now just going to spot him.
Oh yeah, Sonic Wave tags him. He immediately spawns Daisy, but tragically, Friends of the Forest, it's going to be real hard to channel when there's a Lee Sin right on top.
Oriana's on the way though, so if Daisy can zone, then he can take the red buff for free. He needs to channel and then smile.
Oh, here's Rookie over the wall. He's found Athena. Cleanse is not going to save him. Shockwave's on top of himself before flashing the wall. And there's no follow-up just yet from IG. As somehow Athena walks away with his life.
You know, they say that cool guys don't look at explosions. Well, if it isn't an explosion, you should probably still be looking. They tried to secure the kill. They thought Megan had it. But Cleanse, Flash, immediately out to safety, and that's inexcusable from Invictus Gaming. But the mid laner of IMAY survives.
Now Ning trying to steal the Rift Herald just over the wall is Amazing J, but he has no idea. He's going to mid. He's on top of a ward. And Ning, Splinter Cell mission, takes it from just under their noses.
They immediately ping it like, you're at Raptors, Amazing J. Did you know that something was happening next to you? The answer is a resounding no, I had no idea. I am too busy losing my top lane. Someone come and help me.
I mean, he's stabilized a lot of it. He's now 1-2-1 to the 1-1-1 of Duke with even CS.
The thing is, right, like every lane is stable, but mid lane's pushing, Athena is struggling to keep up with the wave clear. Top lane is pushing, Amazing J can't keep up with the wave clear. So IMAY, through the top half of the map, are the opposite of unlocked, even though they've kept up in farm. And you're expecting these advantages to slowly accrue for the side of IG. They've now got the Herald buff. I'd honestly put it top lane. Bring up Rookie again. Maybe go for 2 turrets.
Break down the top tier 1 and keep working away at the base of IMAY's Duke.
Look at Amazing J. He just has no idea where anyone is. They're not even here.
Yeah. There's so much vision on this side of the map from Invictus Gaming that would spot out any potential roams from IMAY, but they're already up there again. You can see Rookie and Ning grouping up behind the red buff. They're spotted out by a ward.
They're about to kill the Ivern. Oh, no, they're not.
That's a miss.
They were.
If that had hit. As Athena starts following up with the rest of his team. Meanwhile, Jin Zhao's all by his lonesome in the bottom lane, but he's still got a turret to keep him safe. There's the charm you were talking about and a root collar to follow.
It actually connects with the charm, of course. No summoner spells to be seen from Athena on the Oriana, so he's entirely targetable by Ning and Rookie alike. If they hit a charm on the priority target of the Oriana, then people will start to melt very quickly. At the same time, there's a redemption from Flawless, so realistically, if you don't kill him straight away, there is still that chance, that possibility the Oriana escapes death.
Gets topped back up.
Like a magician.
It's already happened once. And now that we don't have any big neutral objectives, we're looking towards the turrets. Still sitting on the Eye of the Herald for Ning. As Rookie, again, trades some crowd control. Shockwave flings him back. And there's a wild growth to keep him alive from Megan.
Yeah, wild Lulu appears and just uses the ultimate to ensure he's alive. I don't think there was going to be enough to follow it up and actually kill the target of Rookie in that instance, but it was good damage. It's enough to give lane control to Athena for the first time in what feels like forever. But in saying that, there is a bigger, much more fundamental problem.
Not again.
That's awkward.
He's going to get Herald from one side, minions from the other, and with Herald tanking the wave, they're just going to go for it. That's also cool. Flash taunt. He's trying to get into the redemption, but he gets kicked away and followed up. The turret goes down along with Amazing J.
And here goes Rift Herald. He's been summoned. I don't know if that was intentional. I'm actually 110% sure Ning tried to ward hop, but he placed the Herald as Shen ulted because it takes your trinket slot. So, you know what? It got a turret. It's okay. I forgive you, Ning. It was totally intentional, don't worry.
Yeah, they break the top tier 1. They look to get some pressure onto top tier 2, but the rest of IMAY make it worth as they break down the mid tier 1. Duke is still working on that turret, though, before finally backing away.
It's actually just funny that he did that. Like, the Lee Sin was totally ward hopping.
He was trying to.
He was totally ward hopping in.
Flawless trying to spot them, but the ward is just outside of vision. They see him, though. You got to imagine the comms. Ivern? Nah.
Do we? Nah, they weren't going to do that. They were definitely going back to base. A well-deserved recall and shop for the top laners. Or top side of the map, you should say. Rookie's also managed to restabilize in the middle lane, so everything gets a chance to breathe. We've got a little bit of time until people will probably start fighting again, primarily around the Baron.
That gives more time for Amazing J to finish off his Trinity Force as he recalls for what seems like the 40th time this game.
And you know what? I will give it to you, Raz. His Lee Sin is good.
Yeah.
The rest of it,
very talented.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem to have too much knowledge about item slots and item usage.
No, he's looked really good in this game, and he's targeting the right places. He's got Rookie and Duke working together. This is fundamentally just so much better from IG.
Playing a much more intelligent game now that they've enabled Ning to see success and actually follow through on these ganks.
There's another one.
He actually could have placed that ward a little bit sooner and prevented the 25 gold.
It's the message. They had to ward to actually clear the ward.
Yeah.
And Jin Jiao didn't want to place 2 traps
okay.
to do it. The traps obviously reveal for 1 auto attack amount of time. He would have to place it on top of each other. So I think
hilarious.
Megan won the mind game there.
Oh, man.
I have a lot of knowledge about ward games.
Ooh, Charm finds Athena, but he cleanses back. Still caught by both halves of the Orb of Deception.
Ning
follows through. Sonic Wave continues to chase. Athena flashes back as Ning sidesteps, but there's Rookie on the side. Ning was just a distraction, kicks him back. The Koreans collapse on the Flawless. Redemption is going to do a bit of damage, but nowhere near enough as the rest of IG are there to follow through. Flash knockup is only going to find West, and Zhao is firing shots, but Exhaust prevents his damage. And there's Duke diving in the back. They've still got crowd control stacked up. Invictus Gaming tear IMAY apart.
And Amazing J is doing his best Duke impression in this game, number 2. It's 20 minutes in the game. They've got a Cogmore. They've got Baron in their sights. And after they take a fight mid, they get the turret. They want more.
Amazing J is just behind them. He sees this coming. He's got a blast pant, but decides to let it go. Recall is initiated as Baron is picked up by IG.
They might actually still get him.
Oh, on top of a ward. He leaps over.
He leaped over the bush.
Oh, if he had a Bomby Cinder, he actually would have stopped the recall.
Ah, classic.
Unlucky. Here's that fight again. Athena caught by the Charm. The classic standing still dodge.
And a lot of this is just know when to quit. They don't necessarily need to run into the choke point here up and above either. And they can just trust that Flawless will hit the Q and walk towards your turret, and you would have found that you would be alive right now. But they keep going. Starlight comes in. They want the stun. He backs away, and then he flashes forwards and ults.
And now it's a 4,500 gold lead for Invictus Gaming. They've got Baron buff. They've got Blade of the Ruined King Runans on Kog'Maw.
Yeah, they have a Cogmore.
And they are looking really good in this game, number 2.
For those wondering, there was a Cogmore in this game for the most part.
He's been AFK farming for the past 20 minutes.
As he should be, because the top half is winning. Speaking of, look at the farm for the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
Including mid. There is a lot of CS.
At the 22-minute mark, most people are on the clock. Ning, very far ahead of Flawless, as he now turns towards the Ocean Dragon, as West will finally break down the final remaining Tier 1 turret. Jin Jiao was swapped up to top to try to defend against Duke, and with Ocean Dragon now cleaned up, it's 2 dragons to 1 in favor of Invictus Gaming. Rookie is just so fast.
Amazing J also flashed for that, so the reactions were fantastic from Rookie. He needs to show a little bit of respect to the Orianna's burst when you've gone full AP. There's your Ari, but it doesn't matter. That was the play from IMAY. The play completely diffused by 1 ultimate.
Yeah.
And now they siege.
They invested so much in trying to kill Rookie in the mid lane that there was no one to defend bottom. The Tier 2 is broken, and with the top one already chipped down to below half from Rift Herald earlier, and Amazing J, the one to try to defend it, things are starting to look a little bit more dire for IG. As now we've got a fresh recall, some big items picked up out of IG.
I don't know if dire is even nice, I guess harsh enough to describe where they're at, you know? Like, IG just looks so good in this second game. They don't actually look like slowing down. They've got momentum, they've got vision, they've got map control, they've got the scaling composition, they've got 1-3-1.
They saved a bunch of money on their car insurance. I mean, they got everything.
Long-term investment bank accounts, high interest rate.
Alrighty, I think we're going reaching a little bit too far. Because the one thing they don't have just yet is this series. They still need to close out the Nexus. They still need to close out this game. And He might have found Amazing J. He tries to drop the ultimatum and does succeed, but will still die. So, yeah, they've got Amazing J too.
Yeah, they pick up Amazing J. They get a top lane turret. They've still got the Baron buff. You'd expect IG. They pick and choose now. Do we want to siege mid lane? Nope, there's 5 Caitlyn traps there. Let's go to top lane where they're not set up. Hit a charm, win the fight.
Whoa, Rookie immediately dives onto Athena. Root Collar tags him and flings him in. He dashes back and still gets the kill as Starlight falls just a second after. West, I'm fairly certain, flashed the wall as IG. They are done with this game. They ace IMAY at the 24-minute mark.
And they ping bottom lane because the minions are on their way. That was a comprehensive team fight victory from IG. They now continue to siege. It might be the game. Risky business this early in, but it looks like they want it.
Yeah, Camille is up. Amazing J trying to clear minions up top. Seems like IMAY have given this game up for lost as well. Yeah, Megan takes a few shots as the minions crash in. But IG turn on to the big prize, the Nexus itself. It falls, and 13-2, IG bring us to Game 3.
Mr. Steal your 2-0s, IG. They find their strengths again.
On the upside, they're getting tons of practice with their new roster.
They just cannot for the life of them get a 2-0 victory. I'll tell you that much about IG, but game number 2, fantastically played from them. Seeing Ning on the Lee Sin was great, and they had pushing mid lane, pushing top lane. The pressure was there. They attacked the right areas on Summoner's Rift. That's how you win a game of League of Legends when you're a jungler flanked by Rookie and Duke.
Mm-hmm. And despite a huge performance like that, we're actually not seeing a smile out of Rookie. Typically one of the happiest players in the entire league, still looking very serious after that game to win. He knows he's still got some work to do, and they're going to have to continue this work in game number 3 if they want to take the series. But now here to help us break down what we just saw is Raz.
Yep, you're not going to smile when you know that you have to finish it off. Get the third game to complete it, because IG have been in this position before, constantly finding themselves 3-game series. Of course, you don't want to be in this position, but you don't want to come into it not focused. So this was a good adaptation, and I think immediately making this change. The Lee Sin is the most obvious point, where you give him a comfortable jungler where he's able to impact, but also the lanes for them themselves as well.
Yeah,
Shen and Ahri are incredibly easy to gank, and for them to help you create action. I felt like what IG saw in the first game was, yeah, we have no way to create any form of action or engage. And then so they just loaded every part of that composition to do just that. And if it didn't work out, then they had a late game option in the bottom lane.
And the thing is, right, they have the Ahri into Orianna, which is less mana to clear the waves. They have the Shen, which is meant to beat the Camille. We saw exactly why. He just did the most damage as Shen in a game of League of Legends, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
In a competitive game, it's very weird, because your carries are meant to do that, but very good performances from winning lanes.
And this is the performance that we expect out of the likes of Duke in the top lane, not the getting camped and ending up 0-4, 0-5, or even going even in lane, but then still ending up at a deficit because the enemy team is playing around you so smartly. IG, I don't know what their coach said to him, but hey, keep saying it.
Yeah, I think that knowing that they were able to take a game like this, and honestly so commandingly, like I feel like Ning felt incredibly comfortable on the Lee Sin, and he was able to showcase a lot of plays. And when he worked around mid, there was a nice dive as well where he was able to do that. And I think that it showcases that not only is he able to push through and look for the kill, but Rookie's going to be just surging out ahead. And it felt hard for Athena to be able to do much about that. Ivern's not going to really help you, or at least doesn't have the hard CZ other than his Q. He used his Q, and I was like, all right, well, I mean, Orianna's dead anyways.
Yep.
So they're just moments like those where maybe IMAY is going to be looking towards finding somewhere to strengthen their mid lane. Maybe they're going to be saying, maybe Ivern is not the pick here. We want to be able to combat the early pressure coming in from IG. Game 3 is going to be the moment in which IMAY can make those adaptations.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if IMAY can change it up, because they can't afford to take that style once more against the likes of IG. Again, this is their first game coming into the summer 2017 split. They looked really good in game number 1, but again, we're looking at the same weaknesses for them that we saw in spring split. Their early laning phase seems to still be at a deficit.
And for me, it's mostly the Camille. I actually don't think the Orianna was a big problem, so to speak. I think that Orianna was a take from Rookie first and foremost, but secondly, it's just a good pick. Athena is a good Orianna. It just slowly loses that lane, but it's perfectly fine. They gave him back-to-back blues. But you couldn't hold this man in lane.
Yeah, Rookie was all over the map. Ning was doing such a good job to set him up with wards so that he could move rather freely.
And we're seeing Camille quite a bit, right? We're seeing the Camille pick come through from Let Me, and in this situation as well. And then Camille seems to be the pick for Amazing J. The problem with Camille is that it loses lanes so often, and the benefit is that you can get the playmaking aspect of it as the game goes on. I think Jarvan does that better. I think Jarvan is able to have a stronger laning phase. I just think Amazing J should pick Jarvan, to put it simple. So we'll have to see if he goes towards that. I think that's the adaptation that has to go on.
Yeah.
Pick stronger lanes. It doesn't have to keep the Orianna. Orianna's completely fine. Maybe even a stronger jungler to just kind of push back on Ning's pressure. It's time for IMAY to showcase early game pressure here.
I think for me, it's a little bit just too cute from them, to be honest with you. The Camille Galio combo is fantastic, right? I still think that was a little bit cute, but they made it work. Then you've got Orianna that can maybe work with the Camille in a similar vein of thought if you have the lead. But by losing this lane, but losing it against the Shen, not a Fiora, then you run into a host of problems where they just targeted you time and again.
Yeah, and it really did seem tough for IMAY to come back. The big question is, can they close it out? Or will IG take their first win of the summer split? We'll find out in just a few minutes.